So, last time we talked about where AI can fit into the day-to-day of your service business. But today, we're going to tackle the big one. How do you actually get it to work for you to do what you want it to do? All right, let's get into it.
I'm sure this has happened to you. You sit down, you open up an AI tool, and you give it a pretty simple task, right? Write a follow-up email to a customer. And what you get back is, well, it's just awful. It's robotic, it's generic, and it sounds absolutely nothing like you or your company. So you just close the tab and think, yeah, this stuff isn't for me.
If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. It is probably the #1 reason most business owners just give up on AI. But here's the thing you have to understand. The problem isn't the tool, it's how we're approaching it. To really get this, let's just do a quick thought experiment. Imagine you hired a new person. It's their very first day. You walk them over to the phone, you point at it, and you just say, "Answer that." You don't give them any training, no context about who your customers are, nothing. How would they do? They'd be terrible, of course, and you'd know that it was your fault because you didn't train them.
Well, this is exactly what most of us do with AI. We treat it like it's a search engine. We ask it one question, and we expect one perfect answer back. And that just leads to frustration. The whole mindset shift is to start seeing AI as a new employee. It needs ongoing training, it needs your feedback. That's how you get from a generic, useless answer to a custom result that actually saves you time.
As the author Seth Godin points out, the real magic isn't in that first question. It's in the conversation. It's in the back and forth where you refine and you tweak the output, just like you would with any member of your team to get it just right. Okay, so let's hit that main complaint head on. It just sounds so generic. And you know what? That's a totally fair criticism. By default, AI is designed to sound like the average of everything on the internet. But the fix for that is actually surprisingly simple. You just have to give it your voice.
So, what does that look like in practice? Well, it means you don't just ask for an email. You give it the ingredients. Feed it a few examples of emails you've actually sent. Tell it about your company's tone. Tell it the words and phrases you would never, ever use. Explain your service area, your specialties, even how you typically greet customers. Just a few examples and a couple of simple rules will completely change what it gives you back.
Now here's where this whole new employee idea gets really, really powerful. See, an AI learns through feedback and correction, just like a person does. The big difference is the incredible, almost unbelievable speed.
The entrepreneur Alex Hormozi really hits on the problem here. We give a new person weeks, even months, to learn the ropes. But with AI, we give it one shot, and if it's not perfect, we write it off. But if you're willing to invest just a little bit of that training time up front, the payoff is huge.
I mean, think about this. With an employee, that feedback loop of teaching and correcting can take months to really sink in. With an AI, you can run 100 of those learning cycles in 100 minutes. It never forgets that tiny correction you made 20 steps ago. You can literally compress 6 months of human training into a single afternoon.
And all of this leads to a really common fear, a misconception that holds a lot of people back. And that's the idea that you have to be some kind of tech wizard to make any of this work. This is the question that stops so many business owners before they even start. They just feel like they don't have the technical background to use these tools the right way.
But the answer is absolutely not. You don't need to be a techie. You need a skill you already have, one you use every single day in your business. You just need to be a good trainer. You need to be able to clearly explain what you want.
Here's the bottom line. If you can successfully train a new employee how to do their job, how to answer the phone, how to write up a quote, you already have the single most important skill to get great results from AI. In fact, the business owners who are the best at training their people are proving to be the best at training AI.
Now, usually, once that clicks for people, a new question starts to creep in, a little bit of a fear. And it's this: if this tool can learn my voice, my knowledge, my processes so well, then what does that mean for my value? What if it replaces my expertise?
And you know what? That is a great question, and it is the exact topic we are going to dive into in our next explainer. We're going to show you why AI isn't here to replace what makes you valuable, it's here to amplify it. I look forward to seeing you then.